Hey, boys and girls. It's time for Uncle Jay Explains the News. Now here's the guy who helps little minds understand big news stories, Uncle Jay.
Hi, boys and girls. Well, everybody in the news this week was really extra busy. And you know what? There's a word for that. And the word is surge. It's Uncle Jay's news word for this week. A surge is when you get a whole lot extra of something all of a sudden. For instance, if your dad is at the computer and he gets a sudden surge of electricity, well, the computer kind of gets that funny smell and your dad starts using words that he thinks you never use. Well, in the news this week, President Bush announced that there would be a surge of more troops to Iraq. And boys and girls, that's a big job. You know, the president can't just go to Toys R Us and shoplift a whole bunch of extra G.I. Joes. No, he's got to go all over America and shoplift soldiers from all over and all over the world. Well, also in the news this week, boys and girls, there was a surge of extra work in Congress. Congress is that place where they make all those laws that everybody has to obey except them. Well, this week, they passed a whole lot of extra laws really fast before anybody could find cash in their freezers. Let's go to sports, boys and girls. There's big news this week in professional soccer. You know what? You probably thought that soccer was illegal after 8th grade. But no, grown-ups play soccer all over the world, in other parts of the world, with playoffs and stadiums and rape trials and everything. Well, this week in professional soccer, a very famous player, British player named David Beckham, announced that he was coming to America to play soccer. So there was a big of extra interest in soccer in America for about an hour. Okay, boys and girls, now it's time to answer one of your questions. And this week's question is from Calvin in Cincinnati. And he writes, Dear Uncle Jay, why do some people on the news say they can't talk or comment about something? They're right there on the TV talking, so why do they say they can't talk? Well, Calvin, that's an excellent question. Sometimes people can't talk because there's a coat over their head or they're wearing handcuffs. It's very difficult. But sometimes people just don't want to talk. They don't want to say out loud what they're thinking. You know what, Calvin? Someday you will understand when somebody asks you for a DNA sample. Well, boys and girls, that's it for Uncle Jay Explains the News this week. If you have a question for Uncle Jay, just send it to UncleJ@UncleJayExplains.com. See you next week. And remember, a good kid is good news.